Yan. So, hello guys, no? Welcome for our today's lesson, no? So, today we will be discussing applications of derivatives. Okay, where derivatives are treated as rates of change, no? So, yan. Okay? So, let us have a few or quick introductions. No, so important models of derivatives that we need to remember. No, so first one is slope. It is defined as when y is equal to f of x, then the derivative of y in respect to x is the formula of the slope, no, of the curve at any given point. So you just get the derivative, then substitute the point, the values of the point, the x and the y, no, to the given, to the resulting function, then you will get the value of the slope. No, next, no, for the velocity, no, so when we have s is equal to f of t, where s is the function of displacement along a straight line and t is time, then v is equal to ds over dt, or simply the first derivative or the derivative of s in respect to time. That is the formula of the velocity at any given time. Then we have acceleration when v is equal to ft, where v is the velocity along the straight line and t is time. Then acceleration is equal to the derivative of velocity in respect to time, or simply the second derivative of displacement in respect to time. No? So, yan yung mga models na kailangan natin tandaan for us to solve problems involving rates of change. Now, for example, we have your problem number 1. The linear displacement in meters of a machine robot from its starting point is given by s is equal to t cubed minus 6t squared, where t is time in seconds. So, find the velocity of the robot at any given time and the velocity at time 0, 2, 4, and 6. So, what do we need to take note or jot down in this kinds of problem? First, we need to identify, no, what is the given. Ayan, no? So, in this case, we have our function. No, this is s is equal to t cubed minus 6t squared. Ayan. So, sabi, no, we are asked to find the velocity. The velocity at any given time. No? Ayan, velocity at any given time. So, when this keywords arise, no, so at any given time we are asked to find for the derivative equation, no. So just simply get the derivative in respect to time, no. So we will have ds over dt, which is equivalent to the velocity, that is equal to 3t squared minus 6, or rather 12, not 6 but rather 12t, no. This is now the formula for the velocity at any given time, no. So meters per second. Ayan. Okay, so oops, sorry. Ayan. Okay, so this is our answer. Next one. No, so we're asked to find for the velocity at specific times, no. So drawing tayo ng table. Ayan. So we have here our t. This is our velocity, no. Using the formula, our velocity is equal to 3t squared minus 12t. Okay, so at time 0, 2, 4, and 6, 0, 2, 4, and 6. No, so let's compute, no. So bring out your calculator, no. It's better to use calculator on these kinds of or problems. So type the equation 3t squared minus 12t. Just change t to x, no. So we will have 3 alpha x squared minus 12x. Okay, then calc x is equal to ano yung value ng mga time natin, no? So let's start with 0. Ayan, this is equivalent to 0. So we have 0 meters per second. For 2, no, calc x is equal to 2. So we have negative 12 meters per second. Then we have 4, calc x is equal to 4. That is 0 again. And we have 6. 6, calc 6 equals, that is 36. Excuse me, 36 meters per second. Okay? So, yeah, no, nakuha na natin yung mga sagot natin. So, we have at 0, velocity is 0. At 2, velocity is negative 12. At 4, velocity is 0. And at 6, velocity is 36. So, if we're going to graph or represent these values, no, let's say, for example, you have this robot. No, this is the straight line, yung path na dinadaanan ng robot. Ayan. Now, let's say nag-start yung robot dito. Let's say na si R2D2. Ayan, pagpasensya nyo na yung drawing ko, no? So, kunwari yan si R2D2. Ayan. So, at time 0, hindi siya gumagalaw. Nandito lang siya. No? This is at time 0. Okay? At time 2, no? At time 2, natagpuan na gumagalaw siya negative 12 meters per second na velocity. So, ang ibig sabihin ng negative velocity is you are going opposite the direction that you want to go. No, kung ang orientation natin ng positive is forward, okay, this is forward, ang negative natin ay yung backward. Ganyan. Okay, so we have negative 12, so pupunta dito. So we have here, this is at time 2. At time 4, dito siya, no? Yan, dun kung saan siya inabutan ng time 4. Kasi at time 4, 0 na yung kanyang velocity. Okay? Then, after 4 seconds, no, at start of 5 seconds or after 4 seconds, no, basically, magmo-move naman siya forward. Yeah, magmo-move naman siya forward. Let's say, no, at time 6 seconds, nandito na siya. With the velocity of 36 meters per second. No? So, at time 6, ayan. 0 to 4, 6. No? So, that's how we evaluate, no, yung ating visualize, no, yung ating problem. Okay? So, I hope you guys got it, no? So, that's for problem number 1. Problem number 2, a particle is moving along a horizontal line according to the equation S is equal to 2t cubed minus 4t squared plus 2t. No? So, plus 2t minus 1. So, determine the intervals of time when the particle is moving to the right, to the left, to the right, and when it's moving to the left. Also, determine the instant where the particle reverses the direction. No? So, how are we going to solve this equation? So, let's say now, visualize muna natin. So, let's say this is the straight line that the particle is moving through, no? Then, let's say, we have here, ito yung ating particle. Ayan. No? So, sabi, no, yung horizontal line na ginagalawan niya is defined by the equation 2t cubed minus 4t squared plus 2t minus 1. No? So, we need to determine what is the velocity for us to identify ano yung movement niya. Kasi di ba, remember, positive velocity forward to the right, negative velocity is backward to the left. No? Or depende kung saan yung orientation ninyo. But since yun nga yung gagamitin natin, no, this is positive velocity, this is negative velocity. Okay? So, V plus tsaka negative. Okay, so game, no? So let us solve, let us get the derivative of the function in respect to time still. No? So we have ds over dt. This is equivalent to the velocity, which is equivalent to 6t squared minus 8t plus 2. No? So, yan yung ating ano. So, how are we going to identify, okay, if the particle is moving or not? Kahit yun muna, no? So, we can identify that the particle is moving when the velocity is not equal to 0. Why? Because remember, when the velocity is 0, our particle is in no motion or nakastop siya. No? So, pwede nating malaman ano yung times na nakastop siya, no, before we know the time na gumagalaw yung particle natin. So I will equate this, no, with v is equal to 0. So we will have 0 is equal to 6t squared minus 8t plus 2 And obviously, no, ano yung pwede nating mahinuha dito? Paano natin siya i-solve? Obviously, we have t squared, t, and a constant. So, this is a quadratic equation. No? So, this is a quadratic equation. Ayan. So, for our quadratic equation, no, so we have two factors here. Ano kaya, no? So, since we have the middle term negative, no, ibig sabihin, meron tayong negative factors dito sa 6 and sa 2. No? So, let's say we have negative 6t, then we have, kailangan kasi mag-positive din yung, negative din yung kabila, kung negative natin yung 6 para at least, tawag ito, positive pa rin yung makukuha natin. No? So, we have negative t, then we have plus 2, then this is plus 1. Ayan. Okay, so pag Finoil method natin to, we have positive 60 squared, then we have negative 60, then we have negative 2t, so negative 60 minus minus 2t, so that is negative 8t. No, ito yun, nasa gitna. Then, 2 times 1 is 2. So, therefore, we will have t, negative 60 is equal to negative 2, t is equal to 1 third. Dito naman sa kabila, negative t is equal to negative 1, so t is equal to positive 1. No? So, yan yung mga oras, no, na nakatigil yung ating particle. Okay? But we are not after that. Ano yung kailangan natin? Kung gumagalaw ba yung particle or not. No? So, I will create a table. So, lagay ko lang dito. Particle at rest. At time t is equal to 1 and 1 third. Okay, mas maliit si 1/3, unahin natin yon, no? So, ano yung mga pwede nating ilagay na conditions? Of course, yung time less than 1/3. Ano yung kanyang velocity? Yung time is equal to 1/3. Alam naman natin na ang velocity is equal to 0. So, particle is at rest. Lagay ko na lang at rest. Then we'll have the time between 1 and 3. This is less than, no? Or rather greater, t is greater than 1/3 but is less than 1, no? So hindi pa natin alam. Then for the last two, we have t is equal to 1. Alam natin na t is equal to 1, v is equal to 0. Yan, v is equal to 0. Ayan, so at rest. Okay, then we have t is greater than 1. No? So, paano natin malalaman yung other parts, no? So, we can assume values, no? With the given condition. No, sorry. So, hindi pala nakaano. Ayan. No? So, ito yung ating table na ginawa. No? So, we can assume, again, no? We can assume values of t based dito sa mga inequalities natin, no? To check if we are not really after kasi the value itself but rather the sign, no, kung moving to the left or moving to the right ba yung object natin. So we have, let's say I have here my calculator, no, so ano nga yung ating velocity? That is 60 squared minus 80 plus 2. So let me just write that. So 60 squared minus 80 plus 2 is equal to v. So yan yung gagamitin natin na formula. So Again, our calculator is here. So we have 6 alpha x squared minus 8x plus 2, no? So calc, then just assign any value less than 1/3, no? So let's say 0.9 over 3, no? So that is positive, no? So we have positive value. So just to verify, another one, calc, no? Let's say 0.8 over 3. Ayan, so positive pa rin. So meaning we have a positive voltage, positive velocity, no? So moving to the right. yung particle natin. No, moving to right. Next, no? So, in between 1/3 and 1, no? So, let's say 2/3 kasi 'di ba in between ng 1/3 and 1 'yon. So, we have negative, no? Just to check again, we have 1.5/3. So, we have, sorry, not 1.5 but rather, ano ba? We have, let's say, 2, sorry. Ayan, calc 1.5/3. And also negative, tama pala, mali lang ako na napindot kanina. So we have negative value of the velocity. So meaning, we have a negative velocity moving to the left. And last, no, we have greater than 1, no? Let's say calc 1.1. So we have a positive 1. Then to check again, calc 1.2 equals. So we have positive. So we have a positive velocity moving to the right. Ayan. So therefore, no, based on the problem, okay, based on the problem, so determine when the particle is moving to the right and when it is moving to the left, no? So it is moving to the right, no, at time what? At time basically time is less than 1/3 or greater than 1, no? So ganun siya. So we have sulat ko. Wait lang. Ayan. So we have at time 1/3 moving to the right. So ano ba yung mga moving to the right natin? When t is less than 1/3, okay, and is greater than 1. Greater than 1/3 and greater than 1, no? So ayan yung moving to the right. Moving to the left natin is yung in between. So we have 1/3. Ayan. Then we have ito. Sorry, mali yung sign na nailagay ko dito. Pabaliktad pala. Ayan. T is less than 1/3 but is greater than 1. No? Ayan. Okay, so this is our final answer. For the first question. Ano ba yung tinatanong sa second question? Sabi, no, determine the instant when the particle reverses direction. Ano yun? Ito, yung mga at rest. No, kasi after they move from rest, no, 'di ba? Ito, from t is less than 1/3, pagdating sa 1/3 tigil. Pero pag lumampas ka na ulit sa 1/3, gagalaw na ulit siya. Nang pabaliktad naman to the left. 'Di ba? From right going to left. Tapos ito naman from left going to right. So itong dalawang to yung instance natin of changing direction, no? So changing direction. Palit lang ang color. Changing direction. Asan na ako? Sorry. Ayan, t is equal to 1/3, no? Yun. At saka yung t is equal to 1. No? Aside from it is in at rest, no? Dun din kasi siya gagalaw. Okay? So that is for horizontal motion. No? So, by the way, this one. Ayan. Okay? No, I hope you guys got it. Okay. Next, no? So, we have your problem number 3. A rocket is shot straight upward and its distance s in meters is given by the function s is equal to 245t minus 4.9t squared, where t is time in seconds. Find the velocity and acceleration at any given time, and after how many seconds does the rocket reach the highest point. So we have here our function. S is equal to 245t minus 4.9t squared. Alam natin, no, pag meron tayong words na at any given time, we are just after the derivative equation, no? So let's get the derivative. So this is d over dt. So we have ds over dt, which is equal to the velocity, that is 245 minus 8.1, or 9.1 rather. 9.8, sorry. 9.8 t, no? Ayan. So, that is for the velocity. Ayan, underline na natin. Paano naman ngayon sa acceleration? So, remember, acceleration is the second derivative of displacement. So, just apply the derivative, no? So, this is not s, but t. Just apply the derivative, no, to the resulting function. So, therefore, we have dv over dt, or simply the acceleration, that is equivalent to, magsi-zero na to, yung 245. So, therefore, we have negative 9.8. Ayan, nasagot, no? That's the acceleration. Meters per second squared. This is meters per second. Ayan. Okay, no? So, we already have our velocity and acceleration. Ang tanong naman is, how many seconds does the rocket reach the highest point? So, just to illustrate, no? Let's say this is the ground. No? So, tapos let's say ito yung rocket natin. Yan, no? Kunwari yan, yung rocket natin. Tapos, sabi shot straight upward, no? So, tatakbo siya pataas. Up until ma-reach niya a certain point in the air na kung saan titigil siya. Yun yung tinatawag natin na S-max, or the highest point, no? Kasi eventually magbababa na yung rocket natin, no? So at S-max, lagi niyo tatandaan, no? At S-max, velocity is always equal to 0. Yun yung reason kung bakit siya tumitigil pag na-reach niya na yung maximum point. Okay, kasi wala na siyang velocity pagdating ng maximum height. So we can equate, no, the velocity to 0 to get the time kung saan siya velocity is equal to 0. So we have 0, 245 minus 9.8 t. Tapos, so therefore we have negative 9 point, rather positive 9.8. Lipat ko yung 9.8 sa kabila. 9.8 t is equal to 245. So divide both sides by 9.8. This one will cancel. So therefore, our t is now equal to, anong time? So labas natin yung calcul natin. That is 245 divided by 9.8. That is 25 seconds. So meaning after 25 seconds, na-reach niya na yung maximum height. Ayan. Okay? So, question regarding this one. No? So, I hope malinaw, no? That's for problem number 3. Okay, number 4, no? So, let's discuss naman volume, no? So, solid geometry naman tayo. So, sabi dito, no, if v of x cubic centimeters is the volume of a cube having an edge of x centimeters, compute for the average rate of change of v of x with respect to x as x changes from 3,000 to 3,200, and find the instantaneous rate of change of v of x with respect to x when x is 3. No, so let's define first our function. No, sabi dito, we have our volume v of x. This is computed in cubic centimeters. No, so ayan. Di ba ang volume ng isang cube, no? Sabi kasi dito of a cube is s cube, di ba? Or simply x cube kasi nasa x centimeters tayo. So we have x times 10 raised to negative 2 cube. No? Ayan. To get the formula, or rather to get the volume, no? So for the average rate of change, so for the average rate of change, no? So this is defined, no, as the R-ave, or average, no? So we have f of x plus delta x minus f of x all over delta x. Ayan. So, ano ibig sabihin niyan? We have our function. Yun yung ating, yung formula ng ating hinahanap na volume. Then we have the change, no? So, x plus delta x. Delta x is equal to the change, no? So, let's have here f of x is x cubed. Diba? That's just simply x cubed. So, we will have ayan. So, this is equivalent to what is our x? Initially, we have 3,000. Tapos nag-change siya to 3,200. No, yun yung gusto sabihin ng problem. So, we have 3,000. Okay? Then plus 3,200 minus 3,000. That is our delta x. Diba? Which is equivalent to, tawag dito, to 200. Then cube. Okay? Then minus 3,000. Cube as well. Kasi, di ba, yun yung ano natin. All over delta x. No? So, what is our delta x? So, that's 200. No? So, computing, we have, ayan. So, we have here 3,000. Sorry. 3,000. Ayan. Then, plus 3.2 times 10 raised to 3 minus 3 times 10 raised to 3. Ayan. Quantity squared or cube minus 3,000 cube. Ayan. All over 200. So, therefore, we have, we need to convert this, no, into, ano tawag dito? We need to convert this into, kasi this is in base, I mean, yung pinaka-base unit, but since we are computing for cubic cm, no, so, remember, cm, no, 1 cm is equivalent to 1 times 10 raised to negative 2, negative 2 meters. So, para maging cm cube, no, this is equivalent to 1 times 10 raised to negative 6. No? So, just move it to the right ng 6 times. No? Yun yung gusto sabihin ng times 10 raised to negative 6. Or just simply put n. No? Yung makikita ninyo dito, yun yung number of places na minove. Don't mind the sign na lang. No, don't mind the sign. So, therefore, we will have 28.84 cubic centimeter. So, you have average rate of change. So, that is 28.84. No? Cubic centimeter. Ayan. Okay? So, this is the average rate of change. Paano naman ang instantaneous rate of change? So, for the instantaneous rate of change, just get the derivative of the function. Remember, we have v of x is equal to x cubed. Diba? Then get the derivative in respect to x. So, we'll have dv of x over dx. This is equivalent to 3x squared. Eh sabi, di ba, what is the value of, what is the instantaneous rate of change when x is equal to 3? So, we can just substitute, no? So, therefore, we will have dvx over dx is equal to 3 times 3 squared, no? Which is equivalent to 27 cubic centimeter. Yan yung difference ng instantaneous rate of change sa sa average rate of change. Okay? So, ganyan siya. Okay? So, I hope you guys got it. You can post the video, no? And copy. Ayan. Okay, so next, no, we have problem number 5. A flu epidemic hits a local community. Health officials estimates that the number of persons sick in the flu with the flu are at time t measured in days from the beginning of the pandemic is approximately p of t is equal to 60 squared minus t cubed, provided that time is greater than or equal to 0 and is less than or equal to 40. Find the rate of spreading 20 days after the start of the pandemic and how many days after the pandemic started did the rate the epidemic pala did did the rate of spreading reaches 900, no? So game, paano natin to iso-solve, no? So we have here our function, diba? That is p of t is equal to 60 squared minus t cubed. So sabi, no, sabi nga sa ano natin, we have the rate of change is equal to the derivative. So we'll just get the derivative of this function in respect to t. So therefore we will have dp over dt na lang, no, is equal to 120t minus 3t squared. Ayan. Okay, so yan yung kanyang equation for the rate, no? So sabi, no, find the rate of spreading 20 days after. So we have dp over dt is equal to 120 times 20 minus 3 times 20 squared. Okay, so we will have, this is equivalent to, let me just bring out the calculator. So we'll have 120x minus 3x squared calc. Then we have 20 equals, so we have 1,200. Okay, so that is people per day. That's the unit, no, ng rate. Ayan. So, next, no, so what is, sabi, no, how many days after the epidemic started did the rate of spreading reach 900? So we have, the rate is 900, so we will equate it with 900, 120t minus 3t squared. Transposing yung mga variables natin to the other side, we will give us 3t squared minus 120t plus 900 is equal to 0. So how are we going to solve this one? So by using quadratic equations, no? So we have a quadratic equation solver here in our calculator, that is mode 5 3. Okay, so again, that's mode 5. Oh, sorry. This is mode 5 3. So remember that the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So dapat nakaganon din siya. So we have 3 negative 120. You need to carry the sign as well. Then we have 900. Okay, so therefore we have t is equal to 30. Dalawa yung sagot natin since quadratic to. And t is equal to 10. Now, the question is this answer valid? No, kasi we have a condition, remember, no, of our time should not be outside 0 to 40. No, dapat in between or equal siya sa 0 to 40. No, so are t and 10 inside 0 to 40? Definitely yes, no. So this is our final answer. Okay, so I hope you guys got it, no? So ganun lang naman yung lesson natin. So with these conditions, no, for example, yung 0 to 40, pag ang sagot natin, let's say, kunwari, reached 45, meaning hindi valid yon. You are not going to include it in the final answer, no? So, hindi valid kasi siya dun sa given condition na binigay nung problem, no? So, by the way, we are talking about the rates of change, no? So, the rate of infection, yung iba yun yung tawag dito, no? Rate of infection. So, of course, the better, ang rate of infection is bumababa or tumataas. Pero yung number of infected people is always pataas. No? Magkaiba yon ha, magkaiba yon. So, if we're going to plot, let's say, no? So, we have our P of T. That is equivalent to 60t squared minus t cubed. Okay, so our dp over dt naman is equivalent to 120t minus 3t squared. Okay, ano yung main difference nila? Let's say I will graph, no? Yung infection at saka yung ang tawag dito, yung hawahan. Ayan. Nung sa epidemic, so we will start, this is T. This is P of T at saka dP over dt. Ayan. So, let's say we have 0 to 20 rather. Sorry, 10. This is 20. This is 30. And this is 40. Now, let's say ganyan. Tapos, ano nga yung mga values natin? No? So, we have, of course, pag 0, 0. Pagka 10 and 30, that is 900. Pag 20 is 1,200. No? So, paano naman sa 40? So, just use the calculator. By the way, just modeling, no? Ayan. So, we have 120t minus 3t squared. Ayan. Calc 40. This is equivalent to 0. So, meaning, we have here, ito. Kita ba? No. Ayan. So, we have here, ito. Then, let's say this is 0. So, we have, let's say 900. 1,200. No? Ganyan lang muna. No? Just to match kung ano yung kinaiba ng rate sa number of infections mismo. No? So, this is 0 as well. Then, 10 and 20, 30 is 900. Then, this is 1,200. Okay, so if we're going to plot this, so, makikita natin na at the end of time period is mababa na yung rate of infection, no? So, 0 na yung rate of infection. Pero yung number of infected people is different, is a different story, no? So, yung number of people is, let's say, no, we have 60t squared minus t cubed. Then calc 0, of course 0 pa yan, no? Wala pang infected. Then we have for 10, we have 5,000, no? 5,000 agad. So, let me just draw another graph. Kasi masyado na malaki to scale. So, ayan, no? So, we have 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. So, we have here 5,000. Let's say 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, 25,000. Okay? So, sabi, no, at time 0, wala pa na-i-infect. Pero at time 10, no, may 5,000 na na-infect. Okay? At time 20, we have 16,000. So, dito yan. No? So, at time 30, so we have 27,000, no? So, lampas pa, no? Dito, ayan. And, of course, the 40 malayo na, no? So, if you're going to connect the dots, no? Pag ganyan. So, hindi bababa yung number, sorry, nakaharang yung calc pala. So, hindi bababa yung number of infected people natin. No? So, yun yung kinaiba, no? By the way, let me change the axis. So, this is, ganito na lang to. Ayan. So, this is rate of infection. This is the number of actual infections, no? T of T. Rate actual. Ayan. Okay, so that's it. So I hope you guys learned something, no? So that concludes the lesson for the derivatives as rates of change. Thank you very much for listening. Have a great day. Ingat kayo palagi. God bless.